It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
It's a brisk night in the Midwest, but we've got football at Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Taking in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. We see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback, Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads, everything in between. He's an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he hits the field.
Get him going, baby. It's showtime, baby. Let's go, y'all.
Now the fourth-year running back, this is Devin Singletary. And he's going to have a Bills first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they could be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game plan really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And this will be taken at the 13. 43 yards on a punt, 7-yard return, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati's offense takes the field and leading the way for the reigning AFC champs is last season's comeback player of the year, a man who needs no introduction, Joe Burrow.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front, so they give him any space. He realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a pretty play to come out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in the open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchup, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on the punt. Back deep, Naheem Hines. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Pass caught by Gabriel Davis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burrow?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and he curls back inside for the completion.
Allen now on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella's stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Allen to throw it. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down. It does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's the punter Martin out to kick it away. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The defense got the better of the last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. If they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. Occasionally, you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 18 yards on that one. The Bengals are moving. 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From just shy of midfield, Burrow. Over the middle, complete. It's Boyd. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers live in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 32-yard line. They go play action with Burrow. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they turn it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. This goes out wide for Mixon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
That doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, they might get hit with a screen. Maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they get their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good.
And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And here come the Bills. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had punted away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Allen looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
It only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had 1st-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and it shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping the second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And now they will throw it with Burrow.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
Burrow looking to pass.
The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. And the first play will be a field goal try.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now this offense comes back out on the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary.
And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Allen.
Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside of 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16. And another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they've moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
The kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Play action. Now it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Gabriel Davis from 6 yards away. And the Bills are an extra point away now from moving out in front. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra tension, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and throw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at 19. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting 3s, and you're coming back and getting 2s, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Not good. Over 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Burrow. Blitz the target, and he hands it over the middle. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And Burrow going to throw again.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Inside handoff to Mixon. Oh, he got some breathing room.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36. Now it's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They like going to him in the slot. Catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Play action. It's Burrow. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And now Sean McDermott going to throw out the challenge flag.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
After review of play, ruling on the field.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
That strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Burrow will throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Going back across his body.
And the Bills will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here comes Josh Allen, the Bills offense back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To the air, Allen. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Davis fighting. He loses the football, and the Bengals grab it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football downfield. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Forced out to his left. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to it as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Mixing up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they try to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. McPherson's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they get the turnover across territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
So after made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And last time they coughed it up.
led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to try back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it outfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And now a throw on first down there, but it didn't complete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
We see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's McKenzie. And he is going to have a Bills first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. To throw, it's Allen. Buying time is left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Allen now looks to throw. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
I think the defense surprised him there. We got blitz on first down, but give it credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Here's Allen to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Allen got his man complete over the middle. That's McKenzie. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up first down.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McKenzie. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed. They catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw again on second down. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And the Bills are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Allen again. To the side, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with the toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to halftime, a 5-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats on that first half for the Bills. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 18.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And not a whole lot to speak of there, so bring him down shy of the 20. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And this was a nice example of the offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Mixon. And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. That's the tight end Hurst with it.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation, very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
And again, that's Hurst. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
A handoff, running left, Mixon.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. It finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
This is Mixon on the draw. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Once again, they run with Mixon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Now it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Bengals have retaken a third-quarter lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Beginning this series with a handoff to Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup at 7, past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Allen. He'll find Gabriel Davis. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple him. Do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Come on, baby, get low.
Allen now on 1st down. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Let's do this, man. Get something going. It's showtime, man. They can't read us straight. Let's go. Get it up.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing now is Allen. Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Singletary again. And this time they were waiting for it, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7, as that one officially a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A field goal would get in the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass of the Buffalo field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills have come back to regain the lead. So no problems at all on that one, and you know there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out, had to force the field goal.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring him 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Again, it's Burrow. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Overall, I have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line gain. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Allen to the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll give this to Singletary running right. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll give to Cook on the read option.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one a first down pickup of 8. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before this series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On the counter, this is Singletary. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And he's going to be marked out just outside the 10.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. That was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
Back to the ground, Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit. And he gets a small gain on the play.
Now Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
This has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Bit of a pressure spot here for Tyler Bass.
This to at least make it a 5-point cushion.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about the position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return for just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Able to find Higgins.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is going to lose yardage here. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain a first here.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Throw a fastball, and that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away.
Hines now on the return.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And what do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
First down, here's a run with Cook. Dancing away at the 35.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run again on 1st down. Cook, and he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Singletary here running out of the gun. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Allen to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This should put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. The kick by Bass is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
So Burrow and the Bengals
Down by 8. A minute 44 to go. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well.
throwing. Burrow.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots this stage of the game where it pays to have speed on the perimeter.
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Burrow. Pass complete to Higgins.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Now Burrow.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Complete to Boyd.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Gosh, given the time of the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Burrow.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down.
This is caught. It's Boyd.
And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down on a well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.